Final what if of the day. I swear these videos are gonna be posted at a really I swear these videos I've been working really hard on them, and so far guys, two of the main series have just ended, guys. It's sad, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the last part of it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm generally not seriously. I'm serious. Like, I'm not 100% sure this is the last part. But we'll see. So besides the point of that, let's get started. Oh, so this is what if Naruto was Yami Sukehiro's reincarnation. So yeah, let's get started. Alright guys, let's get started with this what if. As we start off with Naruto, who's currently now being chased by a Jiraiya. As Naruto is like running away like a crazy man. He's like, "Get away from me, you crazy old man." As Jiraiya's like, "Hold up, kid. Come on." As Jiraiya ends up continue chasing Naruto, as Naruto ends up jumping through building, only for Jiraiya to keep chasing him. As Naruto's like, "Dang, this old man is not that bad." As he ends up doing a backflip off a roof, as he ends up trying to get away faster, but Jiraiya continues chasing him. By the way, Sasuke and Sakura are also running with Naruto, as they're like, "What the hell is wrong with this old man?" As Sakura's like, maybe this old man wants to fight. As her battle instincts begin to kick in, as she rushes at Jiraiya. As Jiraiya seeing this would be like, "Oh shoot." As Sakura ends up punching Jiraiya straight in the face, sending Jiraiya flying like he was nothing. As Jiraiya ends up getting his balance back, and he's like, not bad, little girl. As they end up stopping, as Naruto and Sasuke want to see Sakura fight this man. As Naruto then thinks that Sakura does not stand a chance. He already can tell, just by reading this guy's ki, he can tell that this old man is powerful. As you can see, as Sakura begins to fight Jiraiya, but Jiraiya easily outmaneuvers Sakura. Although Sakura was pretty fast, which impressed Jiraiya, and also she was pretty skilled at taijutsu and in some jutsus, she was still not strong enough to face off against Jiraiya, the Toad Sage. So she got bodied. Next up was Sasuke. As Sasuke, after seeing Sakura get beaten up, began to be upset. She ends up rushing at him, and he's like, "Alright, my turn." As he ends up throwing some fireball jutsus, tapping into his 3 Tomoe Sharingan, as he ends up trying to beat up Jiraiya, only for Jiraiya to continue dodging and weaving. Probably this man playing them like violins, like they were nothing. As Sasuke ends up getting pissed, as he ends up, doing a lightning fire dragon, shooting it at Jiraiya, as this fire dragon would cause a big explosion throughout the entire village. As Jiraiya was shocked, he was like, "That kid is definitely not on the Genin level." As Sasuke, he was at least able. This was the same jutsu that he would have passed out from at the Forest of Death. However, he gained some mastery over it because of training with Naruto, so he's at least able to do 2 of them before passing out. As Sasuke is now thinking that he should be able to defeat this old man now. As, Jiraiya's like, "Holy crap, kid." As then Sasuke begins to read this guy's ki, as he's like, "Holy shit." As he realizes that this man is way out of his league. As he ends up looking at Naruto, thinking that why the heck did Naruto not tell him this? But Naruto, he ends up just looking away. He's like, "Oh wow, I didn't tell you? I completely forgot." As Sasuke is like, "Why you?" As he didn't see, as Jiraiya ends up delivering an axe kick straight to Sasuke, sending him flying straight to the ground, as he ends up getting knocked out. Next, it was Naruto versus Jiraiya. As Jiraiya is now chuckling, as he thinks that these kids are really powerful and skilled, as he wonders how is his godson gonna do against him. As Naruto is now just, thinking about what he should do, as he ends up doing what he always do, as he just decides that, you know what, screw it. He just thinks that just screw it. As he ends up fighting Jiraiya, as Jiraiya and him go head to head, as Naruto would be equally a match for Jiraiya. As Jiraiya will be impressed, he's like, "This kid, No way. As Naruto will be jumping through building, as he'll be shooting dark slashes, trying to make a distance, as Jiraiya tries to get in close. However, he's also able to keep up with Naruto's range attacks. As both of them were equal in taijutsu, endurance, speed, and everything. As Jiraiya was like, how the heck is this kid so strong? As currently right now, Naruto will be able to deal with, I would say Naruto and Jiraiya will be at equal strength currently. As Naruto, yeah, he's pretty strong. Heck, he's the strongest Genin. Sasuke is half Kakashi's level. Sakura, a quarter Tsunade. I'm just gonna say that she's a quarter Tsunade. So yeah, as we see, as Naruto and Jiraiya end up fighting the entire day. As after all that was done, Naruto ends up taking a breather. He's like, all right, I'm pretty exhausted. How about you, old man? As Jiraiya is also panting, he's like, yeah, I'm exhausted too. As Naruto then asks Jiraiya why the heck was he chasing him, as Jiraiya begins to explain that he wants to train him, and that it was ordered from the Hokage to train him. As Naruto was confused, like, what? Why would Hiruzen tell this man to train me? But after Naruto thought about it for a while, he was like, hey, who cares? As he decides to allow Jiraiya to train him, however, Naruto is also going to be training Jiraiya. As how both of them will be making each other strong. As we then do a time skip to when it is finally it's time for the I'm just joking. When I'm gonna do a 3-week time skip. As now it's finally coming for the day of the exam for the test. But as we didn't see, as Naruto and Jiraiya have both been making each other strong, as well as everyone has become stronger. Sasuke currently is now 75% Kakashi. He's at least able to make Kakashi so tired that Kakashi won't even think about using the book against he won't even think about pulling out the book against Sasuke. As well as Guy is now almost as when it comes to doing push-ups, Naruto can do more than Guy, which shocked Guy considering that Naruto he already know that Naruto was built, but that's just crazy. So yeah. Damn. As Guy was inspired by Naruto as well as Lee, as both of them have become stronger. So everyone that got training from Naruto and Jiraiya, all of them got stronger. As during the day of the training exams, the first match will be pretty simple. Naruto versus Neji. When it came to Naruto versus Neji, everyone in the crowd began to boo, thinking that Naruto was still the demon. As Sasuke, Sakura, and all the Genin there were pissed, as they were ready to tear up the crowd. However, they began to cheer for Naruto, as they're like, beat him, Naruto, yeah, go! As Sasuke and Sakura, they just stopped. They didn't even cheer, as they already knew that Naruto was gonna beat this man. Neji, in their eyes, was weak. There's no complaining. This man was weak for sure. As we see, as Neji would begin to talk all his shit about destiny, as Naruto would not care at all. As the match would then begin, as Naruto would instantly pull out his katana, as he ends up just chuckling, as he ends up putting the katana in the ground, as he ends up beginning to just walk up to Neji, as he decides he's just gonna fight Neji barehanded. By the way, guys, sorry if you hear the background noise. That's just some interference. Don't worry about it. As you see, as Naruto just walks straight up to Neji, as he's gonna just box Neji with his hands, considering that he doesn't want to get his katana dirty, and besides, that's like his third katana, which yeah, he does not want to get rid of his third katana. So yeah, as Naruto when walking to Neji would think that Naruto was taking him as a joke, as Neji would then rush at Naruto at top speed. As Neji would then try to deliver a palm strike, but only for Naruto to flip him over, as he ends up doing a shoulder throw, throwing Neji away, as everyone in the crowd be shocked, as Naruto begins to vanish at speeds, as he begins to pummel Neji like it was nothing. as Neji tried to do the rotation, but Naruto ends up stopping him. As he's like, sorry kid, but you gotta be much faster than that. Also, try to hide your ki while you're at it, as Neji would not understand what that was, as Naruto just delivers a devastating punch that would knock down the Hyuga prodigy. As by the end of the fight, Neji was already knocked out, as Naruto was declared the winner, as he ends up pulling the katana out, as he ends up putting it back into his sheath, thinking that this was gotta be the easiest fight in the world. As we're gonna do a time skip to the next matches, as Shikamaru versus Temari. Shikamaru has learned from his clan, like from his dad, about the Shadow Strangle Jutsu, and actually instead of losing because of the chakra thing, he actually had higher reserves because of Naruto. Considering that Naruto was actually able to help increase Shikamaru's chakra amount just by a little bit, not by a whole lot. So yeah, Shikamaru ended up defeating Temari. As the next match would be, of course, I'm just gonna say Sakura versus a random Sangenin, as she not even a sound getting, and she ends up defeating it. As the rest of the matches were all the same, all the way up until Sasuke versus Gaara, as Gaara was already sending that killing intent. As Sasuke was not phased at all, considering that he had to deal with Naruto's, which was like way worse, considering that Naruto went up close and personal. As we see as the match begins, Sasuke just vanishes, as he ends up defeating Gaara like it was nothing, as Gaara's getting pummeled. As Sasuke, he was actually able to learn the Chidori from Kakashi, as Kakashi actually was able to teach Sasuke the Chidori. However, Sasuke felt like he could do the jutsu. He felt like he could improve the jutsu a lot more. As we see, as Sasuke was able to actually do the same thing in canon, except he did more damage, as he was actually able to stab Gaara with the Chidori in a much more fatal wound. As this would cause Gaara to transform into Shikaku almost completely, as Gaara was going crazy, as he ends up yells, "Mother wants your blood! Mother wants your blood!" As Kankuro and Temari, thinking that they have no chance of stopping Gaara now, would then initiate the Konoha Crush. Naruto could already sense this coming, as he already gives them a signal, as all the Genin then do a hand sign indicating for the Genjutsu to be released. As they were the only ones that, everyone in the crowds, the Genjutsu would stop practically. As we see, as Naruto then pulls out his katana, as all the people that Naruto was training with then turn around, as they all don't have a fancy robe that Naruto actually gave for them. Naruto didn't give it to them. It was actually, considering that she actually was the one that made them. As Naruto just wore some, the ones that he wore when he was like a Magic Knight Captain, the one that he wears when he's a Magic Knight Captain, not the Black Bull robe. As all of them, they just have like a small little scarf. That's what they have. As Naruto then says, "All right, let's get down to business." As all of them agree, as every one of them begin to do their actions, Ino ends up taking care of most of them pretty easily. Sakura, in her battle-hungry state, begins to take down a bunch of sounding just like they were nothing, as Hiruzen would face off against Orochimaru. Naruto would then look at Sasuke, who was currently facing off against the Shikaku, as the Shikaku was now being released to its full form. Naruto then thinking that thing is going to give a big trouble to him, as he thinks that maybe it should be better off if he just destroys that thing. As he's now thinking that he has no choice but to kill Gaara. However, he doesn't want to do that, as Naruto is beginning to contemplate what to do. By the way, if y'all didn't know, Naruto has learned the Rasengan and the Toad Summoning from Jiraiya, so I'm gonna let y'all know that. Also, another thing that happened we're gonna do a flashback. During the month training, Tsunade actually came to the village, considering that, she actually Jiraiya actually went up to her earlier, before he came to the village, and he actually convinced her to return back to the village, considering that he convinced her that her beloved and her two beloveds would not want her to mope around like this, and that he always had her back. As Tsunade, she was thankful for that. As we see, as when the Konoha crush happened, Tsunade and Jiraiya actually helped Hiruzen begin to fight Orochimaru, as Orochimaru was getting pummeled. Naruto, seeing this, would then think that those guys should be able to help out. As Naruto ends up chuckling, as Jiraiya actually began to have mastery over the Sage Mode. As Jiraiya knows how Naruto always seemed to overcome his limits, and he thinks that, maybe if he masters Sage Mode, he can overcome the limit of him being, because Jiraiya, he doesn't like how the Sage Mode makes him look, so he thinks that he can overcome the Sage Mode's ugliness and just have the beauty and power as well. So yeah, he ends up training for the Sage Mode, as he's almost there to completely mastering it. As you see, as Tsunade and Jiraiya begin to defeat Orochimaru, as Orochimaru's been acting like nothing to them, as well as Hiruzen. As Naruto then chuckles, he's like, well, I'm gonna have to deal with this guy. As he ends up looking at the Shikaku, as Sasuke is just being able to deal with him for the whole time. However, he can tell that Sasuke's chakra reserves are running low. Sasuke has mastered over the lightning, fire, dragon bomb. He's at least able to do it 3 times a day. However, this is already his 3rd one, and he's now running low on chakra. He can try to force out another one, but that would just cause him to be passed out and unconscious. Also, Sasuke is at least able to do like 5 Shidoris a day, so yeah, there's that. And Sasuke ends up doing some handstands for Shidori. However, he knows that this won't be enough, as he ends up rushing at Gaara, as the Shikaku ends up just, defending Gaara, as he ends up doing his sand coffin. Naruto, seeing this, would then jump into action, as Sasuke, who's currently inside there, will be expecting for the worst, thinking that he's gonna die. However, Naruto ends up saving Sasuke immediately, as Sasuke will be shocked, as he ends up, landing. As Naruto then looks at Sasuke, saying, Sasuke, you did good. As Sasuke did quite a bit of damage to the Shikaku, in fact. As Naruto was like, now then, watch me take all the credit for this. As Sasuke would then stop, as he looks at Naruto. As Naruto, after seeing Sasuke fight for a while, he was filled with courage and everything, as he was really happy. As he ends up shooting out a bunch of his darkness, as he ends up shouting, alright, Dark Cloak, Dimension Slash! As the first one was completely able to slice up the Shikaku in half, as this will wake up Gaara. As Naruto did it with enough force, that practically what he did, what Yami did to Veto is what Naruto did to Gaara. As Gaara, he would not be sliced in half, the Shikaku would, but Gaara would be he would be still injured, that he woke up. As Gaara would then hit the ground with a thud, as Tamari and Kankuro would be shocked. They're like, this kid beat Gaara. As we then see Naruto then walk up to Gaara, as he ends up giving his Takano Jutsu straight to Gaara's face, as Gaara ends up understanding this. However, Gaara is too weak to move, so he's not going to try. He's not even going to try to fight Naruto at that point. As Naruto then looks at, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Hiruzen, only to find out that they were actually able to defeat Orochimaru. Well, and this will be the real Orochimaru, as Orochimaru could not believe it. He tried to do the reanimation jutsu, but it didn't work. As he ends up gritting his teeth, as he's like, I can't believe this. As then suddenly all the Sound 4 members would then jump in to save him. However, Naruto and Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura would jump into action and stop them. Although it's 4 against 3, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, they were all able to deal with them. They tried to tap into their curse mark. However, Sasuke and Naruto were able to read their ki, and Sakura was strong enough to deal with them even with the curse mark. When they went to curse mark 3, this began, like, when they began to go into their final curse mark form, this began to, weaken Sakura to a point that she ended up taking a lot of damage. However, she still was ready to fight. She was having a bunch of fun fighting them. Sasuke and Naruto were doing a lot better. As Sasuke, he was just going through a little bit of chakra exhaustion, considering that he did waste a lot of it on taking down the Shikaku, which Naruto just one-shotted, like, hello. As Naruto ends up chuckling, saying, damn, this is just pathetic. I thought you guys were actually going to be a challenge, but I guess I was wrong. As then the sound formers didn't jump at them, as they were all able to be defeated by Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. As Sakura was the one who got the most wounds, as she needs more training than Naruto and Sasuke. By the way, if you guys want to know, Sakura didn't got training from Tsunade yet, considering that Sakura, she just continued following Naruto's training regimen, and she never asked. So, after that, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Hiruzen end up telling some Anbu to take her, Orochimaru to prison, as they would do so. As we then see, as Tsunade would instantly rush over to Sakura and heal up her injuries, as Sakura will be instantly recovered. As we're going to do a time skip to the next day. Sakura, she was fully recovered, as she was just walking around with a few bruises and everything. However, she was completely fine. As then suddenly, they would then be called into the office by Hiruzen, as they will be confused at this. Sorry, guys. As when they arrive there, they'll see all of them, everyone that they trained with, Guy, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Ino, Hinata, practically everyone that they train with. As when they sit down there, Naruto would just be there, be like, so Gigi, what do you call us for? As Hiruzen then looks at them and says, thanks to y'all, we have been able to save Konoha. As Naruto is just chuckling, saying, nah, we just did what we had to. As he's not giving that confident look, saying, not to boast. As Sasuke and Sakura just chuckle at this. As we didn't see, as Hiruzen actually says that he's gonna actually give them the ranking, as all of them were ranked for Sasuke and Sakura and Naruto, they were all ranked up to Jonin. As for the rest of them, they were ranked up to Chunin, as all of them were actually excited for this, as they were like, wow, we actually did it. We're Chunin and Jonin. Yay! As Naruto liked the Chunin vest, except it did not fit his color, so he did not really wear it. So yeah, there's that. As we didn't see, as Hiruzen then actually stopped saying, he's like, actually, there's something we would like to recommend for you guys. As Naruto was like, what's that? As after Jiraiya and Tsunade actually contemplated about this, Hiruzen then says that there's a group that's going to be coming for an attack soon. As Naruto was like, a group that's coming for an attack? Holy crap, this thing is going to go for real. As he's not just chuckling, as Hiruzen then gives a serious look for Naruto, as Naruto ends up giving the same serious look, as he's like, so the group that you're talking about, explain? As he begins to explain about the Akatsuki and how they're roaming around and how they're going to go after the Nine Tails, as Naruto can tell, yeah, the Nine Tails is pretty powerful. However, Naruto, he does believe that he needs to become stronger for them, as although he's on Jiraiya's level, he can already tell that there's some of them, there might be someone who can be stronger than Jiraiya. So he does not want to even wonder what happens. As we then see, as Hiruzen then gives Naruto the offer, saying that you guys will have a 2-year training. As Naruto is like, holy crap, 2-year training. As Naruto then says, sure, why not? By the way, if you guys are wondering, wait, why are they doing the 2-year training already? It's because, first of all, Tsunade is already back, Orochimaru is in prison, and practically they already practically just take care of two things. The Sasuke retrieval arc does not happen, and also the Tsunade retrieval arc does not happen either. So both good. As Naruto and his gang would then look at each other, so they're like, yeah, 2-year training. That sounds nice. As all of them want to get stronger. As Sasuke, he wants to be strong enough to find answers from Itachi, as he wants to get answers. Sakura, she actually just wants to get a fight now, considering that she still likes Sasuke. However, she's starting to like fighting more than Sasuke. So yeah, as we didn't see, as Hiruzen then gives Naruto a chuckle. He's like, all right, you guys have a training. As Jiraiya, Tsunade, Guy, and Kakashi will also be coming, as well as the rest of them. You know, Lee, Neji, Hinata, all of them will be coming along. Practically almost all of Konoha's strongest ninjas. Kurenai and Asuma will be staying behind, actually. So, yeah, they at least have protection. Not good ones, though, but okay. As we didn't see... also, Itachi and Kisame, they don't actually come into the village because they have heard about Naruto defeating the Shikaku. That means that they felt like, yo, we need some time to prepare for this guy. So they decided they're going to put Naruto at the last. They're going to go after Naruto last. As Hiruzen then gives a serious look to Naruto, as he then says, Naruto, by the way, I came up with a good idea. As Naruto's like, oh yeah? And what's that? As Hiruzen begins to explain about the special unit. As he decides that he's going to make it a unit where there's going to be the strongest shinobis. And they're going to be in squads. Not squads of 4, but in squads of 7. As Naruto is now confused, he's like, so there's going to be 7 people? As he begins to nod. As he says that they're going to be like a sort of unit. For example, like how Danzo has the Anbu. They're going to be like squads, and there's going to be captain with them. Like, considering that he was just considering this. As Naruto, he decides he's going to call this the 4 squads. Considering that it's going to be squads of the elite, and they're going to be able to take down threats like the Akatsuki and stuff like that. Considering that, you know, the Akatsuki are a big deal, and, you know, there could be threats like that in the world, in the future. So he decides to make stuff like that. And he asks Naruto if he wants to become the first member of the squad, and also he wants to be the leader. As Naruto's like, well, considering that you just asked, sure, why not? As Hiruzen then chuckles, he's like, alright, it's settled. I'm gonna give you at least 2 years to decide your team of 7 is, which I'm pretty sure after all this, all you guys should be registered for that team. As all of them then look at each other, as they then think of that too. As Tsunade and Jiraiya were also excited, considering that Jiraiya, he was excited to learn about the Sage Mode, considering that he realized that when he was mastering it, he was beginning to his you know how he looks like a frog when he turns into the Sage Mode? That began to disappear. In fact, he began to look less like a fraud. Oh my god, like a frog, not a fraud. That would actually be funny as hell. As, you know, Jiraiya was excited. He thinks that maybe if he would master Sage Mode, he'll get more chicks, as he's not excited. Tsunade was actually excited of actually learning something new, considering that she was inspired by Naruto's determination and willingness to go through everything, as it sort of reminds her of her Dawn and her brother. As she accepts Naruto, however, she's not going to give Naruto the kiss in her charm yet. Not yet. As Hiruzen ends up giving them the green light for this, as all of them end up getting packed up. As we didn't see, as we're going to do a time skip to the next day. All of them are packed up, all the shinobis are ready, and all of them are ready to go. By the way, guys, when actually no, sorry, I'm going to give them a 1 month. So during this 1 month, they probably just been chilling, relaxing, you know, trying to fix up the village that's still a little bit in ruins. But when the village was okay enough for them to leave, they began to pack, as now that they're all packed and everything, they're now ready to leave. Naruto then looks at the village one more time, as he promised that he'll be strong enough to protect this village, and that he'll be strong enough to become the Hokage. as he never really once expected that he would go for this goal, but it seems like he is. And he decides that he was going to become enough for this way this old man, and not only that, but for this village can be at peace and relax. As Naruto never expected this. As we didn't see, as all of them would then go off, as everyone's cheering for the new Genin and everything, as they're thinking that this is going to be the strongest team in history, and that they're going to be the ones to save Konoha. Even though, like, from future threats and everything, not from the Akatsuki, because they don't really know much about the Akatsuki, not yet. As we then see, as Naruto and his team would then leave, as this is going to be the end of the What If. Hope y'all enjoy. If y'all want Shippuden, 300 likes if y'all want Shippuden. Because if you guys are wondering, why am I putting the goal so high? It's because I always think I gave you guys a worthy enough goal. I always think that. And then suddenly after like a week have passed, I check it again and the goal is already smashed. I'm like, bruh, y'all didn't even give me a chance to recover. What's wrong with you? So, yeah. Oh my god. So I'll be posting the new What Ifs tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoy them. And besides the point of that, Sage Samurai is here, but now he is out. Peace.